Hi, I'm Amy, thank you for tuning in. I just got back from London Film and Comic Con and I had a really good time. I bought a few interesting things and I've been saying quite a few books and bought a few books recently, so I thought I'd do a big haul of all the stuff that I've got. I actually went to Comic Con to meet David Boreanaz and it was such a lovely experience. I've been a big fan of Angel since Buffy started, never had the chance to meet him before, so it was just a really nice moment. So that being said, let's get to the haul and I'll show you the things that I've picked up. First off, I randomly picked up this Sydney Bristow figure. For anybody who doesn't know, Sydney is the main character in Alias. I was a massive fan of this when it came out, I think in the early 2000s. And I've started rewatching it recently and realised just how good it is. If you're looking for really twisty, action-packed kind of spies on secret missions sort of thing, with a very cool female lead, then I would definitely recommend it. Jennifer Garner is great. It's one of the earlier roles I saw her in. I don't know if it is her first main role. But yeah, I just wanted this as a little memento of one of my favourite TV shows from my shelf. Next up, I really liked this item and I was so tempted to buy it, and my son absolutely fell in love with it, so that sealed the deal. It's this little Sam figure from Trick or Treat, a horror movie that I've got really into this past couple of Halloweens. It's from Spirit Halloween in the US and I've never been able to get anything from there because their stuff just isn't normally sold here. So I was super excited. I would have wanted this little Sam on my shelf anyway. And then I'm going to show you what he does when you press the button. It is quite long, so I apologise, but I feel like it's worth it. Okay, that was even longer than I remembered, but I do love it. I think it really typifies why I like Sam so much, that it's just really creepy and cute all at the same time, and I think it's going to look really nice on my shelf, so thank you to my son for encouraging me to buy this one. Next up, I've got this Pennywise body knocker, which I assume is like a bobblehead, but maybe it's whole body rock, because I'm going to have to show this on a video at some point when I've opened it up. I've been trying to get more Pennywise stuff because he's one of my favourite movie and book villains. So I thought that this would be a nice addition to the collection. Next we have a bizarre little item that I couldn't resist. I feel like Beetlejuice would approve of this little planter sprouting out of his head. And I'm not very good with plants, so I feel that this would be a nice way to incorporate some greenery into my room without being a plant that I can kill. Next up I got this. I actually picked this up at Hamley's. I don't know how well you can see it. It's a bendy fig. I've never seen these at the Horror Monsters before. I'm going to try and get the whole collection just because it's really cute. I like the fact that you can bend its body. They're pretty cheap, so I think I'm going to try and get to this full collection. Next up, my husband has been trying to get a cool flux capacitor for a while, like one that looks really decent. I'm not going to get this one out of the box because it's his. I'll probably show it on a future video once we've got it up and running. But it looked really good. They showed us it on the stand, and he's a big Back to the Future fan, so we thought that'd be a nice addition to our very much movie themed home. And next I went to Forbidden Planet and I picked this up. I really enjoyed An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson and I couldn't resist this lovely signed edition. Tagline on the back says "Only blood can rewrite blood." Got no idea what this is about, but so far it seems to tick quite a lot of my boxes. And next up I bought this, which is partially for my son but mostly for me because look at it, it's a gorgeous pop-up Nightmare Before Christmas picture book, and I don't know whether it's pop-up or so much as open the flaps, but it's got lovely little details hidden underneath the flaps, so I'll do a video about this one at some point as well. And that's it for my Comic Con items. I'm really happy with those. There were other things I wanted to buy, but a lot of the things I like are collectible now. Like there was an amazing figure of the Crow that was about this tall and cost I think over £300, so not one that's sadly going to be added to my collection yet. So yeah, definitely recommend if you want to pick up some merch, get to London Film and Comic Con. It was great. So next I visited Criminally Good Books a couple of weeks ago in York. I got some books from them which are further down the pile, but I got these really cool Edgar Allan Poe post-it notes, so I'm going to be using these for plotting at some point in the near future. Also, I've been doing quite a lot of content about point horror lately, and every time I post about point horror, people say, oh, have you read any Christopher Pike? And I'm like, no. I don't know how Christopher Pike passed me by in the 90s. I passed him by. I don't know. I read loads of point horror, loads of Fear Street, and didn't read any Pike that I can remember. So I decided, I did a bit of research, and I figured that his vampire trilogy was a good place to start. So let me know in the comments if you can recommend any Pike, because I'd love to add more to my collection. Next up, I posted recently that I have been rereading the Blackbird series, but I'm missing book 2. I left it at somebody's house and never managed to claim it. By the time I asked, it just vanished, as these things happen sometimes, don't they? So I got myself a secondhand copy of this so I can keep reading, because I'm really enjoying those. Next up, I had a little mishap in the works. I don't know why I go into it when I'm trying not to buy too many books, because I just have to go for the 3 for £6 deal. It seems too good not to. So this one, A Lesson in Malice, is a dark academia that I've not heard of. I've also not read anything by this author, so I thought it would be a good opportunity to try it. This was the real reason that I ended up starting the 3 for £6. I just picked this up and it sounded so fun. It says on the front, who needs living when the dead have so many secrets to tell? Meet Tams, the accidental medium who, with the help of the dead, is about to become an unwilling crime solver. I'm always looking out for books with that kind of Sucky Stackhouse, urban fantasy, cozy mystery sort of feel, and I'm hoping this one will fit the bill. So finally, I picked up this one when I'm in the mood for something escapist and fun. I read the back and it sounds really good. I really enjoyed My Roommate is a Vampire recently, and it has similar vibes to that from the sound of it. And the title kind of made me smile. I think it's maybe a little tongue-in-cheek. So I thought I would give this one a go. Next up, when I went to Criminally Good Books in York, I picked up a couple of books there. I asked them to recommend me a thriller that had plenty of twists and reveals that would keep me guessing. And after talking through some authors that I had read, like Riley Sager and Lucy Foley, we settled on this author who I've not heard of before. I've not heard of this book, or if I have, I've kind of only vaguely am aware of it. So I thought that this would be a great experiment in reading a recommendation and hopefully getting some really good twists in the bargain. So next up, from the same bookshop, I picked up You May Now Kill the Bride by Kate Weston. I love her YA books. They are very funny and fun and feminist. And this one is about a hen party that goes very, very horribly wrong. I read the first chapter, and it is written in Kate's witty feminist style with very believable, well-drawn characters. So I'm really excited to get to this one soon. Putting it in the read this soon pile just next to me. Next up, I was sent this by Chicken House, so thank you for that. Annie LeBlanc is Not Dead Yet. This one just sounded amazing from the blurb. I've been meaning to try Molly Morris's books for a while. They also wrote This Is Not the End. So I think that this is going to be a really interesting, quirky contemporary. It says on the back, every 10 years in Will's hometown of Lennon, California, one person is chosen to return from the dead. When her ex-best friend Annie LeBlanc is brought back to life for 30 days, Will's ecstatic. Who cares that Annie stopped speaking to her before she died? Discovering a loophole that means Annie can stay alive permanently, Will has one summer to make things work. But first, Will have to face some difficult truths about their past friendship. I love contemporary books with a kind of supernatural or paranormal twist, so this one sounds amazing. Next up, I pre-ordered Under Your Spell by Laura Wood. I'm a massive fan of Laura's YA books, and I read an ebook proof of this, and it was so good. If you're looking for something romantic, spicy, and just really fun, and written with Laura's trademark warmth and amazing characterization, absolutely recommend this one. A woman ends up sort of babysitting a rock star while he writes his new album because he's been having some trouble. So they hire her. She's in need of a job, and she needs to just kind of keep him on track and look after him over the summer. And of course, sparks fly between them. It is very, very good. I'm planning to read and annotate this one and learn from Laura's brilliant writing. Next up, I'm in a Gothic book club on Instagram, and over July and August they are reading The Woman in Black. I've never read this before, and I've always heard really good things about it. I've been wanting to read more Gothic fiction, so this one should be a nice chilling ghost story. It says the classic English ghost story on the front, so I hope it lives up to my hype. Next up we have a couple of books that I've been sent by publishers, and this one, The Dark Within Us, I'm just going to put the others down so I don't drop them. This one, The Dark Within Us, also from Chicken House, thank you very much for that, by Jess Popplewell. I think it is her debut novel, and it says on the back, Jenny's felt broken for a long time. Luke has his own issues, you would too if your family ruled hell. When they meet at a party, sparks fly. She sees a handsome devil, he sees a lost soul, both sense trouble. But it will take a journey to the very depths of the underworld to bring a girl and a demon together. This just sounds amazing. It's described as a frightening romantasy and a talent to watch on the back, and I'm really excited. And also, just look at that cover. Next, we have another very hyped book on my list, The Madness by Dawn Kurtagich. As soon as I knew that Dawn was writing a feminist retelling of Dracula, I knew I had to have it. This one focuses on Lucy and Mina, and it's a gothic retelling. It's set in Wales, written by Dawn. I don't think you need to hear any more. But if it can entice you any further, it comes out in August and it has got so many blurbs by authors that I admire, so I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Also on the pile, it's growing, this pile of books I want to read soon. Next, I've been seeing Mayfly absolutely everywhere. I don't know much about it apart from the fact that it seems absolutely wild from the blurb that I've read. I think people have said it's quite extreme in places, so I'm interested to see whether I can handle it. Let's read the blurb and we'll decide together. By day, Mayfly works at the happiest place in the world as every child's favourite ice princess. By the neon night glow of the Sunset Strip, Maeve haunts the dive bars with a drink in one hand and a book in the other, imitating her misanthropic literary heroes. But when Gideon Green, her best friend's brother, moves to town, he awakens something dangerous within her, and the world she knows suddenly shifts beneath her feet. Untethered, Maeve ditches her discontented act and tries on a new persona. A bolder, bloodier one, inspired by the pages of American Psycho. Step aside, Patrick Bateman is Maeve's turn with the knife. I mean, sold. That sounds absolutely phenomenal. And next, I don't really know why I ordered this. It popped up on books that I think that you will like. You know, Amazon does the thing. And I was like, yes, I would like books about the weird Wild West. I have been reading a little bit of folklore lately. I read some as part of my research for Mina and the Cult when I was researching aliens and cryptids and stuff like that. So maybe it was because of that, but it just seemed too interesting to not pick up. It's very, very short. Don't know what it's going to be like, but I'll let you know when I get to it. So that is it. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you think I should prioritise reading. Am I going to be too scared of Mayfly? What Christopher Pike should I add to the list? I'd love to know what you think. As always, likes and subscribes are very much appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!